Obviously, we have a very special guest co-hosting today.
Steve Wilkos.
Oh, I love being here.
You know,
You like
love
that?
him.
I do.
Yeah.
Big anniversary.
Yeah.
For you this year. 30th anniversary of working in television.
I look at it, 30 years of drawing a paycheck in television with uninterrupted. How about that?
That's lucky.
Yeah.
Well, it's a little hard work.
Well, that's
It's a
too.
lot of hard work, but you know, to be on the Springer Show that was so successful, and then to actually, you know, do well enough that I last 17 years on there.
On your own show.
Yeah, so it's been a really. If you would have told me 30 years ago when I walked in for one day to work on the Jerry Springer Show, for one day, hey, 30 years later, you're still going to be here, I never would have believed it.
We have a little bit of sound. Let's take a walk down memory lane, shall we?
Sure.
I would never hurt my own child the way I was hurt like
Then why
this.
did you hurt me before like that?
That was a long time ago.
But it's still in my life.
That was a long time, and it was your ex. It was your ex. It wasn't your husband.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
so,
come on, Mom. I mean, what mom sleeps with her daughter's ex-boyfriend?
That is a soundbite that I will look back on and laugh for time to come. What did we just see? Where do you find these people, or do they find you?
They find us, so that's the good thing. We don't have to go searching too long. And my joke is we, you know, Alabama or Ohio, you know, but no, so they're all over. But, you know, it's crazy to me, and even doing the show as long as I have, how we get these people to come on TV and talk about these stories.
Right.
You know, so
Because you don't have to
blows my heart.
coax them, per se.
No, they want to come
They're
on.
willing and able.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
they're, you know, a lot of times, I even said this back in the Springer days, most of these people have never been on an airplane before in their life or spent night in a hotel. So, and even like for TV is such a draw for them to go back to their small town, and they were like the star for the day.
They're the most famous person in town.
That's right. Can we go back to life before all of this? When you were growing up, your first aspiration in life was to be?
Chicago Cub, play baseball. Yeah.
Right-handed pitcher?
Yeah, well, they tried to make me a pitcher, but I hit a lot of guys, so my pitching career ended real quick.
And then you became what?
So my dad was in the Army in the Korean War, and he was a Chicago policeman. So, you know, when I knew baseball wasn't going to work out, I was going to be just like my dad. So I joined the Marine Corps right after high school, and I did 6 years in there, and I became a Chicago policeman, and I loved it. I love both. I love being a Marine, and I love being a policeman. And you know, taking a side job, because, you know, a lot of policemen work side jobs to make extra money. And my buddy said, hey, you want to work the Jerry Springer Show? I said, sure. And what do I need? Blah, blah, blah. I didn't even know who Jerry was. Never heard the guy's name. And so I went to work one day, and, you know, one thing led to another. Like the next thing I knew, they fired the guy that was running security. They put me in charge. And little incremental things, like they'd ask me to shave my head, and, you know.
Look at this.
Yeah.
Wait, when you started Jerry Springer, you had a full head of luscious
well, I
hair?
wouldn't say I was out of the Marine Corps, so I didn't have full luscious hair.
It was like a short.
But yeah, I had hair, and we probably should have gave you clips with me with hair. But they asked me to shave my head, and I did. And then we started doing these small things like Steve to the Rescue that was within the Springer Show. So it kind of grew naturally, you know, and organically. And the next thing I know, Jerry went on Dancing with the Stars, and that's how I really got my show. Because when he went on Dancing with the Stars, I hosted the show while he was gone. And they said, he's terrible, he'll be the first one voted off. Well, he ended up being on there for a long time. So I ended up hosting a lot of shows. So then they had me host shows the next year too, and then they said, hey, give this guy a show.
Give him a spin-off.
Give him a show.
Wow.
It's truly incredible how many career pivots you have had. Do you have a favorite one?
I mean, if you take the financial aspect out of it,
Yes.
I loved being a Marine. I really did. I loved it. And I was going to make it a career. And then at some point, I had 6.5 years, and I said, if I do 5 more years, I'll end up being in there forever, and which was fine. But then at one point, I said, maybe I want to go back home to Chicago. And little did I know, I'm going to come back only for a few years and be moved out here to Connecticut.
Wow.
So, but yeah. But I love being a Marine, yeah. And I love them all. I got to say this. I love being a policeman. I loved, I wouldn't want to be a policeman nowadays, but back then I loved it. And of course I love doing my own show. But the Marine Corps, the physicality of it, the discipline, everything that goes along with it, I really enjoyed it.
Wow.
It's a lot of working out.
I know.
Can we just stay with Jerry for a hot second?
Sure.
Because he passed away almost a year ago.
Yeah.
In April, and he really changed the trajectory of your entire life.
My wife, everything, like, you know, my career.
Did he introduce you to your wife?
Well, she worked on the show, so I met her on the Springer show. She came down from Detroit to work on it. I was working part-time, and so we met on the show. But, like, you know, other than my own father, no man has ever watched out for me, cared for me, looked out for me than Jerry. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So he always was, you know, even when I had my own show or when I had my troubles or whatever, like Jerry was always there for me, and just nobody
thick
was
and
like
thin,
that.
huh?
Yeah.
Wow. I love that
Yeah.
testament to somebody's character.
Yeah.
All right, so, you know, we figured it would be fun to talk some hot topics with you.
Hot topics that are
We'd
going
love to get
on.
your piping hot take.
And there's a lot of hot topics going on.
Place. It wouldn't.
I like the
we wouldn't be
piping
in
hot take.
business if that wasn't. Okay, shall we fire them off? The first
Yeah.
thing we want to talk about is, oh, here we go.
Yeah.
Women being the breadwinners in relationships. So this comes to us because we saw an article. It was in Business Insider that sparked this conversation for us, and I've had it with friends. To sum it up, a woman got a high-paying tech job, started making 4 times more money than her husband. He took a pay cut to then become the stay-at-home dad, take care of the kids, whereas the family, the dynamic, though, of the relationship because of this kind of shifted. He ended up kind of being very jealous of her, and that was the demise.
And then went into therapy.
Yes. Which
I mean,
is...
why?
Obviously,
I-
this was recent. Because, you know...
What
your
is
thoughts?
your take on this?
Well, I mean, me and my wife's here today. She's my executive producer, and you know, the money all goes in one pot. It doesn't matter what she makes, what I make. It just goes. We're together. Like, it doesn't matter who's making what. It's a total sum.
But what about families for whom the pots are separate? There are some very
Yes.
I know people who your money is your money, my money is my money, and maybe we'll have our money, but this is still our
Right.
money.
Yeah, I don't know. You know, it's funny that you say that because the first year I got my show, my wife ended up taking over the Springer show and my show. So she was actually making more than me because she was running 2 shows.
There
Okay,
she
wifey.
is.
And I
see.
was like, I remember talking to Laura, I'm like, hey, how's this happening? How's my wife? I got my own show. And she's
Yeah.
making more
And
than me.
she's your boss.
Yeah, but, you know, I'd be happy if you're married to somebody that's successful and making a lot of money. How is that a bad thing?
Here,
I don't-
here.
You know.
Yeah, here.
Yeah.
I
What
like
about,
that.
what about the therapy part? Because a lot of the folks that come on your show,
Oh my God. Everybody's in therapy. It's
but
just-
you know what?
like-
Everybody, a little
Some people do
self-guidance.
need it, but like I
Yeah.
think it's overblown, man. Like, you need therapy because your wife's making more than you.
Yes, I would agree.
That's a little crazy.
Well, I don't think it's about I'm feeling some type of way because my wife is making more money than me. It's I feel some type of way because of something, and I'm gonna peg it to
Maybe you
that my
feel
Not
wife-
right to peg it to that, though,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
No, not
Yeah.
at all. Be happy.
That's what I think.
What are we going to talk about next?
This was Simone Biles, the gymnast.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
married to the Green Bay Packer guy, right?
There we go. It's funny you should bring him up.
Yeah.
Because apparently, when these two met, he had no idea who she was.
And I call BS on that.
That's what I said. I said I don't believe that for a second.
I
He's
mean,
making a
listen,
joke.
I'm not into the gymnast world. I don't follow the Olympics or anything. I know who she is. Come on.
And then he went on to say he was the catch of the two in the relationship.
No, I mean,
What can you name him?
He's like,
can you
nah.
name
I don't even know
I
his
don't know
name.
it. Do you?
I didn't know his
I don't
name
know
either.
but see, but like even like big name football players, they come and go, right? You know, football careers are short. Somebody who's on her level of gymnastics with her success, she's like Mary Lou Retton. Everybody remembers her. Like,
Please.
she's going to be remembered forever. You know, this guy, 5 minutes later, nobody's going to know who he is.
Thank you. She's on the world stage.
That's right.
Yeah.
He
Everyone
knew,
in the world.
and believe me, he
knew.
knew who she
I know.
was.
I
Come
said
on.
he's making a funny joke,
Yeah.
a not so funny joke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I think we have time for one more. Let's see, which one are we gonna? Oh, here we go.
Oh.
This is great. So, Reba McEntire,
Yeah.
country artist, fame. She has sparked a little debate on the internet. I don't know if you'll recall I believe it was Flo Rida who sang the Boots with the Fur, apple bottom jeans,
boots with the fur.
So she posted this picture on the gram and she captioned it "Boots with the Fur." So everybody thought that the boots themselves had
Had the fur.
but now she's saying you can have boots and fur. So do you think that he being T-Pain, it was T-Pain and Flo Rida, meant having boots with fur on them?
Or boots.
Or is she right?
I don't even know what the hell you're talking about.
Me neither. You know what? Did you have a horse in that race? Who were you rooting for?
Oh, in the football game?
Yeah.
I was rooting for the 49ers.
Yeah, me too.
Only because I'm kind of over the Chiefs. I always like the underdog.
Thank you.
I like Brock Purdy. And I said the Chiefs were going to win. I just knew it.
Are you a Bears fan?
I am a Bears fan. They
Well, we
stink.
have Bears, Eagles, Giants.
Yeah, but see, you guys have some success. I have no success. Even you, at least you made the playoffs 2 years ago. I mean, I can only
That's
dream.
putting it nicely for New
Yeah.
York over here. Oh my God.
Oh my gosh. Well, Steve, hold on tight. We just got started.
Let's go.
All right.